Happy Tuesday, Joanne. Welcome. You win the prize nearly every week. You are fast, girl. Are you recovered from your crafty weekend? I hope so. Hi, April. Hi, Renee. Happy Tuesday, all. Hi, Mary B. All right, it is 7, so let's go ahead and get this party started. All right, hello and welcome. This is Barbara Reed, the Wexford Stamper, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And tonight I have a fabulous fall treat box to show you. A little bit of punch art and a little bit of new DSP, and voila, look at the cute little box you can make. All right, so before I unveil what is inside my treat box, hi Deb, let's go through some of the products that I'm gonna be using this evening. All right, first I'll bring in the mini catalog. We will be using the Designer Series paper that's right here. This is on page 55. It's gorgeous, beautiful, nice muted fall palette, and it's in the Harvest Meadow suite. Now we're just gonna be using the paper this evening, but this is a gorgeous, gorgeous suite. Love everything about it. It's got this beautiful lace ribbon that I also like, but we're just going to be focusing on the paper this evening. So that we're going to be using. We are also going to be using an oldie but goodie stamp set that you might already have in your stash. Thank you, Lisa. Happy Tuesday. The Banner Year. I bet many of you already have this one. This is a great versatile stamp set. It is a photopolymer set, but it's got lots of great fall into winter sentiments, and then these cute little, almost like clip art that you can make and put on your cards. So very cute, very nice set to have around. We're going to use With a Grateful Heart for the box, or Happy Fall Y'all would be a really cute one for this as well. So there's at least 2 choices here you can use. Happy Thanksgiving if it's closer to Thanksgiving, or you can go with the general A Treat So Sweet. So lots here that we could use for our fall treat box. All right, last thing I want to show you is we are going to be using some of the ovals this evening to make our little pumpkin. All right, so if you have the ovals collection or the layering ovals, okay, those will work perfectly for your little pumpkin. I just love making the pumpkin with this, and it just stands out so pretty on the paper. All right, and before we get started, don't forget, there will be hi Cheryl, there will be a PDF on my website as soon as I get my live uploaded onto my website. I'm sorry, my blog. I will make sure I place that link right on Facebook in my groups. So don't forget, every Tuesday evening, we have a fantastic PDF to help you with those 3D projects. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Anybody want to make a guess for what might be in here? That's my drum roll. How about a mini apple fruit pie, a Little Debbie fruit pie? Isn't that cute? And these are the fruit pies. I got them at my local Giant, and they are really heavy. There's a box of 8 pies in here, and it's over a pound. I mean, these guys got lots of filling, I'm sure. All right, Renee, I'm telling you, that is an old joke. But super cute, great little fall snack. And that's what fits right in there. But of course, you can put your own goodies, maybe socks or maybe candy or something. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a piece of crumb cake cardstock. Crumb cake is always a great base for any kind of fall treat box. All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna bring in my scoring tool. It would help if I told you the size of the paper. All right, the size of the paper is 9.5 by 8. 9.5 by 8. All right, let's go on the 8-inch side first, the short side. And this we're going to score at 1/2 and 1.5. And then I'm going to turn it directly to the opposite side. So here's where I just did all my scoring, and do the same thing. 1/2, 1.5. Okay, those are going to be our sides that are going to come up. All right, here we go. Let's go the long way, 9.5. We're going to score at 1/2 again. 4, went off the track. 4, 5, I get too excited and I go right off the track. All right, and 8.5. So 1/2, 4, 5, 8.5. All righty. Okay, let's go ahead and take that off our scoring board. Hope everybody's having a great day, preparing for the heat wave coming along. Doesn't feel at all like fall this week, but hey, we are going to make some fall treat boxes and we're gonna like it. Right, girls? Yes, we are. All right, so I'm just going around and making sure that I am creasing on all of my score lines. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and do some cutting here. Gonna grab my scissors, my snips, and you'll notice that if you hold it in the portrait position, I know you do, Lisa. You always want snow. I don't want snow, I just want cooler. If you hold this in portrait, you'll notice that one of the ends has a thinner panel, okay? And I have that one at the bottom here. This is gonna be the little portion that goes inside the front of the box. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the thin part right there, and that's gonna go right in the side of the box. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off the tiny square at the corner and then one rectangle in. And then I also nipped it a little bit so that it will feed into the box really easily without getting caught. So I get a little tiny wedge on each side there. Okay, now, next, this is gonna be our lid. So we are gonna cut straight up these score lines and stop at the first, actually it's the second, but it's the first one that's still on there. The second horizontal score line. You see, this is creating our box lid. Okay, then we're gonna turn it this way and we're gonna cut those pieces away. Okay, everybody so far? Got it? All right, now let's focus in on the tabs. We're gonna create the tabs on both sides here. So first I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut up to the second score line here. So you're going to have a tiny piece and then a larger tab. You're just going to cut off that tiny piece there and then create your tab here. Okay, and I'll explain in a minute why we have that tiny piece there. Okay, and then we're going to cut off there. Okay, then we have, this is our side, and I'm going to go ahead and just take a little wedge off those sides here, just to keep it consistent. So that's our side there. Everybody see what I've done? All right, let's turn it to this side and we're gonna do the exact same thing again. So up through to the second horizontal score line, snip off the tiny rectangle and make this flap into a tab. That's going to close inside the box. Ditto over here. And then take a little tiny bit off each edge here. Now, as I put the box together, you'll understand what I did this for here. Okay, so here we go. This is the template. Pretty simple. Okay, let me turn it this way so you can see the whole thing. All right, now I'm going to grab my my 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm going to put a little notch in right here. And I'm just going to eyeball it. Maybe 1/4 of the circle. Okay, now let me show you on my finished what that looks like. See, you have a little notch there, so it makes it easier to open the box, and rather having to kind of dig their finger into the box, they can open it just by putting their thumb right on that notch. So if you think of it and you have a little circle punch, that's a great addition. It kind of saves the life of the box a little bit. All right, now this is our lid, so we're going to go ahead and put our designer series paper on there. And I chose this pattern from the Harvest Meadow DSP, and this is cut at 4 7/8 by 3 3/8, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to place that right on my lid. Okay, I like, if possible, to put my designer series paper on my box before I put it together, because then I can really get it down firmly and I won't crush the box. And somebody's Tombow is, there we go, not behaving. There we go. Okay, so we got all our glue on there, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place it right on my lid. Okay, just a tiny border around that. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and take this 1/2 inch by 4 7/8, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere that right there. And then we'll be ready to go ahead and put our box together. Yep, this is beautiful paper, Barbara. I really like it. I haven't gotten my blackberry paper yet, so I've been using a lot of this for my fall items. All right, now it's time to go ahead and put our box together. Everybody knows how to do this. We're going to just put a little bit of the Tombow on each of our tabs that we created. And then we're going to just put the box together. Okay, we're going to pick it up and we're going to fold the tab behind the side panel and lining up the side panel edge with the fold. And just hold it for a second or two. This Tombow works wonders. Same thing over here. All right, and last but not least, our other tabs on the other side. Put them both inside. So this is a pretty easy box to put together, but it's a nice size. If you opt not to put your apple pie in there, it holds a lot of stuff. Lots and lots of great fall chocolates would be awesome. All right, so there is my box. Now, these two sides, I created the box with these two sides because I noticed that when I put my lid down and close the box, if I didn't have those two little sides there, the box lid would go right down into the box. It was just too large. Okay, so these allow me to make the box, and then it holds the lid up and keeps it nice and sturdy with those there. because if I would push down on the middle and those sides weren't there, it would bow down into the box. So that's just a tip. If you make a box like this, you might want to make sure that you create the little edges like that. Okay, now I'm going to put my apple pie in there. And there we go. We have our box. Okay, now I think it's time to go ahead and that's right. There's some blues and things in there too. I agree. There are some different colors, but they always, Stampin' Up! Always does that. They put in some unusual colors, but they seem to work. All right, here are my ovals. You're going to need 3 ovals, and depending on the size of the pumpkin you want to make, you can decide which of the oval dies you want to use, but you're going to need 3 of them. I cut mine out in Calypso Coral, and now I'm going to take my ink pad with my Calypso Coral and a sponge dauber, or you can use one of the new brushes. And I'm just going to go ahead around all 3 of the ovals and just give them a little bit of color. Okay, this is really going to show up when you put your pumpkin together and give it a lot more dimension. So you're going to go around all 3 all the way around. But I've always loved doing the punch art. And this is a very, very simple one, but there's just so many cute punch art ideas that it's been something that I've always loved doing. Okay, we're almost around one more side of this oval. Okay, there we go. We have our 3 ovals, and every one of them has the color sponged on them. All right. Yep, me too, Cheryl. I love the daubers. I think they have a place as well as the brushes. If you only need a little bit of area, I think the daubers work great. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the inside edges of 2 of the ovals. Okay, then I'm going to bring in the center one, which is the one that's going to be on top. And then you just kind of fiddle it around until you find a position that you like. Now I really like that. I think that really looks like a pumpkin. Maybe you have an oval punch? Yep. You could probably do the stitched ovals. That would look cool. That would look like it's like a needlework pumpkin. All right, so there is the pumpkin. Isn't that cute how that works? Then I just grabbed a piece of one of my favorite colors here, which is Granny Apple Green, and I made kind of a little triangle, and this is kind of however you want it to be. I was really kind of freelancing it with that to make my little stem. Then I'm going to just turn it over here and put a small dot of glue on my stem and just hide the bottom edge of it behind my pumpkin. And how easy is that to make the cutest little pumpkin you've ever seen? And there it is. Oops, stuck to my fingers. So there's our cute little pumpkin. Oh, I love it. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back, running out here on this one, but I'm going to use those edges. Don't want to throw away any of these great dimensionals. Even the edges work. All right, now I'm going to take the backings off, and with my design, I put it over kind of on the left-hand side, resting just below my stripe. And there he is. All right, let's grab our 1/4 inch strip of basic white, and we're going to do a little bit of a sentiment here. Now I used, thank you, Renee. I know, so simple. All right, I used, as I said, a banner here, and I'm using the With a Grateful Heart. Always important to have gratitude every day, but especially in the fall around Thanksgiving. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my early espresso and stamp my greeting. All right, now that's done. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to make my banner tail, and I'm going to grab my favorite banner tail maker and Tailored Label Punch is its real name, and I'm going to stick it right through there, and I want to line it up so that the corner of the diamond is right in the center of the strip, and then it makes a cool little tail. No cutting necessary. Okay, let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and place that onto my box. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off because I want to tuck it behind, but I want to make sure it stays on my box. Doesn't hang off the edge. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back. And I'm going to slide it right under my little pumpkin and then just let it lay right on the box. Isn't that so adorable? All right, you know that I couldn't leave it as it is, so I grabbed my twine and I tied a double bow. And I'm going to put that right at the base of the stem of my pumpkin. Going to put it right on the glue dot. I'm going to grab my pick tool, not my pick tool, but my pierce tool, and I'm going to put it right there. I have made hundreds and hundreds of bows this week. I'm so excited. I'm going to be having some friends over this weekend for a Christmas card stamp-a-stack. It is called Cards, Carols, and Cupcakes. And yes, all three of those things will be at the event. So that is my project for this evening. Very quick, very fun. I think I might make a bunch of these for my teacher friends. They are just getting through their first full week of school, so I know they'll be exhausted and could probably enjoy an apple pie at the end of Friday. So remember, here is the PDF that you can download if you're interested in making them yourself. Please take advantage of that. And that is all I have for this evening. I hope I get to see some of you this weekend at our Christmas card event. And next week starts my Halloween series. Okay, I'm going to have 5 weeks of Halloween projects. So get ready for that. That's going to be fun. So take care, everybody, and have a great week and keep on stamping. Bye now.